If y'all seen the title, I just seen this, and I just want to talk about it. Jada Pinkett says her grandmother taught her how to self pleasure herself at 9 years old. That's right. Jada Pinkett said her grandmother taught her how to self pleasure herself at 9 years old. Should anyone Okay, so I put down there, I put a poll. Should anyone teach their children how to self-pleasure themselves? This is the question that I'm asking because if, like I said, if you've seen the title or the thumbnail, Jada Pinkett said her grandmother taught her how to self-pleasure herself. The first thing I'm gonna say is I don't even know how you go to a 5 or well, I think she said 9 year old. I have a 5 year old, but at 9 years old, how do you go to your granddaughter and say, and teach them how to self pleasure themselves? Do you walk in there with like your favorite dildo and just give it to them like, hey, this is my favorite toy, you know, you should try it out, or when I'm in there DJing, I do it like how do you go about saying that or doing that? And I know I'm being a little comical, a little facetious, if you say it, but maybe even a little bit hyperbolic. But this is a real concerning thing to me, but because you put this out there for everybody to see, where is discretion? Where black people kept the stuff that they talked about in their bedrooms? Politics and sex was some things that you knew for certain that you did not want to discuss outside of your household or outside of your bedroom. But now it just seems like so many people are running rampant with being able to say anything and put anything on the internet. Gabrielle Union, same thing. I think she said she learned how to self pleasure herself at 5 or 9 years old. It's one of those numbers too. And I'm like, why are these women out here telling us how they self pleasure themselves and at a young age and being taught by these older women to do such a thing? A lot of stuff we expose children to too early. And when it comes to sex, I would think a lot of stuff that you teach your children should just typically be about the birds and bees and what could happen if you engage in sex, the ramifications like STDs, pregnancy, heartbreak, soul ties, and those type of things. But to actually take it a step further to show people how to please themselves is crazy to me, to say the least. I'm gonna say it again. It is crazy to me for people to be on here telling us that they are getting self-taught to please themselves. And y'all wonder why when we look at Dwayne Wade in his household and he got a trans daughter, and we like, this didn't happen until Gabrielle Union entered that household. Or when we look at Willow and a Jaden and we say, these kids are kind of weird. There's no time in life do I want to sit down at a red table talk to my mother and my grandmother about my sexuality and the things that I like and threesomes and things like that with my mother and my grandmother. Those things are weird to say the least. I have never, other than the birds and bees talk, have had a candid conversation about sex with my parents because I respect them. Because my parents used to hit me with I'm not one of your little friends. And nowadays, that's where the lines are getting blurred because, like I said, on TikTok, we get on TikTok and we see so many women getting on there with their daughters, and they'll have like, guess who's the mother? Or who's the oldest? Or who's the one that looks 32? Who's the one that looks 45? Or we have the mother and daughter dance offs where you see the mother shaking her cellulite with her thin skin with the green veins showing. Or we'll have the mother and daughters dressed alike on TikTok, and both of them got their cootie pop showing. This is what's going on right now in the black community. And I say this all the time. Black people, I don't even know why we're so open talking about sexuality. Now I do know why. It's because we're whitewashed, okay? A lot of black people nowadays in this European society, this Western society have been whitewashed, and they think it's okay. Yeah, I see what happened when Kamala Harris went over across that war that told them she was going to get them $100 million to push all that gay shit, right? The LGBTQ shit. They went and got stricter on their laws and said, no, you're not going to bring that over here. Why is that a thing? What is the end goal to try to push that type of lifestyle on people? And we know it was classified as a mental illness. Do I think a lot of people that engage in that lifestyle? I say this. This is what I say. If you support LGBTQ rights, I'm kind of going to side eye you because you can't have that without pedophilia. You can't have that without pedophilia. And the reason that I say that, because most of the people that I've talked to on the podcast or just in passing, or people that I went to school with, have all revealed to me that the reason that I'm dabble or consider myself to be homosexual is because I've had some type of traumatic experience with an adult or a cousin or another family member at a younger age. So that's why I consider myself to be part of this community. That's why I say when people support the LGBTQ like they do, I'm a side eye you because I think you kind of want to play with church in a little bit. Believe it or not, because like I said, you can't have one without the other. And that's why when people get upset with like conservatives and people speaking against LGBTQ rights and stuff like that, it's always going to be an issue. And the reason it's going to be an issue is because people feel like they should be able to do what they want, which they should if you're an adult. But when it comes back to affecting society, when we all have to coexist with one another, then people should have a say what they can and cannot say about these certain things. And that's going to always be an issue with a lot of people because people feel like I'm an adult. I pay my own bills. I can do what I want. That's cool. But when we talk about society, when you out here telling me you support LGBTQ rights, and I know pedophilia come along with it, and I know your child got to go to school with my child, now I kind of got to be like, what is your child putting on my child? What is your child telling my child? See, those are the risks when it comes to society. And I do think we're going to have to get to a point in society where we're going to have real separation. And what I mean by that, they're going to have to be like real community just for gay people. There's going to have to be real communities just for black people. It's going to have to be real, just they have them in small pockets, Little Italy, Chinatown, stuff like that. But it's going to have to be like states. Like it's going to have like California and New York need to be just states where if you agree in that lifestyle, you should go to these states. You should go to these states because, like I said, it should be like if you're in the South is typically conservative. It should stay conservative. If you want to go out west, cool. Out west, California, your Oregons, your Washingtons, those are typically liberal. Keep those liberal. Your New York's liberal. But the South is conservative. Why can't we keep these pockets conservative? I think it's going to come a time where, hear me out, I think a lot of black people need their own state because white people have to get out the way of black people so they can find their own identity, they can find their own sexuality. And like I said, that's why a lot of black people just think that they're gay because they've been whitewashed. I know y'all don't want to hear it, but a lot of niggas been whitewashed. So y'all think y'all can just jump back and forth on Cootie Pop to Peter Wacker, which is not cool. And I'm going to say this, and I don't know what it is with young girls, these young 21 or 25, 26-year-old women fascinated with ass play. It's weird to me. Like we get on the podcast, somebody's talking about they put a dildo in the nigga booty. They vibrating butt plugs, eating booty. They just seem to be an extreme. And then last year I thought that was the most extreme because we had, your what the girl name is, the one that was messing with Carisha, talking about she like golden showers. Amara La Negra, she talking about she like golden showers. Like we had a lot of celebrities that's come out, and I think a lot of it was clickbait. But then I think about like how many women and how freaky these women are nowadays. I'm like, they probably are not playing. We need to kill this whole notion that the men are the sexual deviants. That needs to be killed now. We need to take that out of everybody's mind that the men are the sexual deviants, the way that the women get on here and twerk, bend over, show it, spread everything. And like I said, I'm okay with twerking, but I grew up time and a place. It's like a few years ago, we had to do it in Texas. Had a restaurant owner, had to kick the black women out because he told them, my restaurant is not for twerking. They still standing up on the couches and twerking. I think his name was Kevin. He said, my restaurant is not for twerking, but the black women still want to go in there and twerk and show their ass. I don't want no motherfucking twerk win on my waffles. Why are you twerking on my waffles? I don't want your ass. And I'm going to be honest with y'all. Y'all be grown as hell. And y'all personal hygiene don't be up to par. Let's keep it a buck. Y'all see what's going on in Houston, all the STDs and stuff. They reported the report that came out last week. No, I don't want twerk win because I know it's about to be funky here because when you sat down, your sit down win was horrible. I can only imagine what the twerk win gonna be like when you got everything spread over and you bent over. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see your cellulite shaking. I don't want to see your cootie pop or your moose knuckle or the beef curtains hanging out. I don't want to see none of that. Half y'all can't twerk. Y'all got big, y'all got big butts, but y'all look like hippos from behind. Y'all just be bent over. I don't know what the hell y'all be doing. Y'all can't really dance. It's just because a lot of y'all know y'all got big butts and y'all can do a little wiggle and it excites people. You have your homegirls hyping you up. Y'all can't motherfucking dance. Let's be real. But back to what I was saying, y'all, we black people have been whitewashed. It is evident, and I don't think we as a people should be out here in society telling other people what we doing in the bedroom. No, I don't think it's cool that kids out here or adults teaching kids how to self-pleasure themselves. I think that's weird, and I think it's even more weird to say that. You know, I don't even know how I would, like I said, how do you bring such a thing to a 9-year-old about self-pleasure if you're teaching them that? Do they walk in the room and catch you doing it and it's a conversation? Do they approach you about self-pleasure? Like, how do you approach that? Because that'd be a weird conversation. And I'm gonna tell y'all some real shit. I got caught at 19 having sex, right? By my mom. It was awkward for 2 weeks. Neither one of us said anything. 2 weeks. She didn't say nothing. I didn't say nothing. We act like it did not happen. She walked in on me, and I'm talking about like I didn't know she was coming home, and I was beating that chick down. Like I was beating her down. I was like 19 years old, beating her down. My mom walks in on the room, and after that happened, like we stopped. The girl ended up leaving because it was weird at the house. So I walk upstairs, and she just didn't act like she said anything. Like she didn't say anything. I didn't say anything. I walked in the kitchen, got something to eat. She was sitting at the table. I walked past her, I went in the room, waited to be grounded, waited for her to tell my dad. I don't even think she told him. So, like I said, to have these conversations with children, how do you even approach them? Like I said, if it's not the birds and the bees conversation, if we're not having the birds and the bees conversation, then what are we really talking about? What is there to talk about? I remember, like I said, I remember making a sexual innuendo or sexual joke around my parents, and my parents looked at me like, I'm not one of your little friends. We don't play like that. We don't act like that. And like I said, that's what we need to get back to, where parents understood what being a parent was. We got too many people want to be their children friends. Y'all care about more about putting tablets in front of them. We got these fat ass kids nowadays because y'all want to have them be fat and lethargic because y'all let them go in the refrigerator and sit down and eat so they ain't got to bother you all day. And this is crazy. This is off topic. Do you know how much a kid has to eat to be a fat kid? Like when you think about it, do you know how much a kid, an adult, your metabolism isn't that high. But a kid, if you have children, kids are running, not walking, running every waking minute that you're around them. They're running, talking, jumping, wrestling. They're always on. I'm talking about everything is so high strung with the child. that if you have a child and your child is fat, you are literally neglecting them and telling them whatever's in this refrigerator, you can have it. You can have it. Like if you have children, you know exactly what I'm talking about. That's why I say a fat kid shows neglect on the parents' part. It shows you're not raising your children worth a damn. You letting them eat all this shit. Put a tablet in front of them. Put TV in front of them. Put video games in front of them. Y'all ain't taking y'all kids to exercise. Y'all ain't walking around the block with your children. None of that. So if you got a fat kid, I don't know why you have a fat kid. But I know you're doing a lot of neglectful shit to have a fat child. That's a fact. 100% pure fact, right? But back to this. Sex, 1 minute. This is another thing I wanted to talk about. 1 minute, y'all are single. This is the real shit. 1 minute, 1 minute, women are saying just 6 months ago. Listen to what I say. Just 6 months ago, women were married, single women. This is what I say. Married, single women 6 months ago. Now we had this Cam Newton interview come out, and now y'all are talking about broken homes. If a man has a lot of baby mamas, no way he can see all his kids and give all these women what they need. So it is crazy because both of these things can exist. And I'm not saying in the same household, but the thing is, when I see women talk about these things, they're either one, not married, so they never experienced being a married single mother, or two, they're not a baby mama or married to a rich nigga that can have multiple kids. So how do y'all can speak on so many of these things and they both be polar opposites? I've never heard not one of y'all get on social media talking about, I know my homegirl, she's married, they have a good marriage, they raise their kids well. Into that is always polar extremes, and I get it. The extremes are what sell. The extremes are going to sell every day, but I can't find out one video. How are the same women talking about the two total opposite, married single mother or a man that got all this money creating these multiple broken homes with all of these children and he can't be there? I didn't even know black people even cared about broken homes until this Cam Newton interview. Y'all let me know. Did y'all know black people cared about broken homes as much as they did since this Cam Newton interview came out? Because I didn't think black people even cared about broken homes. And some real shit in 2024, having a complete family, mother, father, and kids, is some white folk shit nowadays. I'm going to say that again. In 2024, having a complete family is some white folk shit. Me and my homeboys went out, got us something to eat. And where we went, we would look around and see white people around and they eating as a family. That is rare when it comes to black people. Did not know y'all care about baby mama, baby daddy ish. Because all of that ties into when we talk about the sexual nature that's going on right now. And if you stay in Birmingham like I do, if you stay in Birmingham like I do, one of the biggest topics right now is about a guy who has HIV for the past 10 years and been running around knowing he got the package, giving it to other women. That's the thing in my city right now. Like I said, Houston, HIV and the STDs are running rampant in Houston. So bad that they've been giving reports about the STDs in Houston for the last year. I watched this girl make a video and she says she worked in the medical field. She says, well, anytime you see an influx of syphilis and gonorrhea, 3 to 6 months after that, you're going to see a big spike in HIV. She said when you see a big spike in syphilis and gonorrhea, 3 to 6 months, you're going to see a big spike in HIV. And now those are the reports that are coming out in Houston as the rise of HIV. New cases of HIV is on the rise in Houston. My question is, when is enough when it comes to sex? That's the question I got. When is enough enough? Like when have you had enough sexual partners? When have you had enough sex? When have you had enough freaky sex? Enough different kind of sex? You exploring different facets of sex. I know y'all know all of them got different names. Y'all like to try and shit like that. I don't know. I'm just a regular nigga that just like regular shit. I know y'all like the extremes of everything. These are the questions that I gotta ask. I gotta ask. But y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section. Peace.